Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Prison Break. Last time on Prison Break, we had By the Skin and Teeth, because it was definitely by the skin and teeth that Lincoln has survived. He was not executed due to some anonymous evidence being submitted to Judge Kessler, who decided to err on the side of caution and delay the execution by 2 weeks. He also allowed for the exhumation of the body of Terrence Steadman. However, when they did dig up the body, the only thing left of him really was his teeth, which were identical match to the dental records of Terrence Steadman, so by all accounts, that is him. So Veronica and Nick still have their work cut out for them. Meanwhile, Michael is working on the second attempt, Plan B, as it were, to get out of Fox River, and basically that means taking a new route to the infirmary through the asylum. However, while he is able to figure out how to do that, he ends up burning himself in the process and actually losing the map of the tunnels, the old sewer systems. So it's going to be very difficult to try to get through there now. And yeah, we also have, just before the execution was halted, Lincoln seems to have seen his father, the man who walked out 30 years ago. And it's entirely possible that he's back, but it's also entirely possible that he's not back. So, yeah, we'll just have to see. So with all that said, let's go ahead and get into this episode of Prison Break. Here we go. 3 years ago.
Tough night? I got your message. What's the problem?
What's the keys?
Oh, that is
Where'd
rough.
you find 'em?
4 feet that way.
Tuh.
I heard you got fired a few weeks ago. What was it this time?
You really
Damn.
want to know? You're just enjoying the view from your high horse.
Ooh, damn.
You know what I want? To not have to be the older brother to my older brother.
Some Katara shit right there. So he was the responsible one.
He's Link.
I didn't care who the guy
That
is.
bad, huh?
I ain't killing no one.
I must have missed the part where I gave you a choice.
Black leather jacket.
I missed the
two
part
buttons
where
down
that's
the
my
front,
problem.
three on each sleeve.
Think of this as a $90,000 bullet. You start fresh. And you keep me from finding out if there's someone in your life you will do something for.
Oh, shit. I mean, it is kind of...
I should call you a cab.
It's weird how it's, like, kind of considerate. Like, hey, don't make me force you too hard.
You gonna answer it?
I should probably answer it.
I'll leave a message.
No, you should have probably answered it. Oh, no.
Anyway, it's real important, bro. You gotta call me.
God, that looks so cold. Oh, crap. He's going. And that's how it happened, huh? Jeez. So I wonder... I mean... maybe Michael feels slightly responsible. I mean, we know he has such drive to get Lincoln out of there. No matter what kind of relationship they had. How strained it was. Oh, geez, we're still here. And he's already dead.
Did we get him? I believe we did, partner.
If he had just not gone with the gun drawn, the entire plan wouldn't have worked.
Are you kidding me?
Sucre.
Nanda, we should whoop that guy's ass.
Please. Only time I see you whoop some ass is when that old man cut in front of you at Arby's.
Oh,
Yeah, and he was like 102 and blind.
chance encounter.
With a plastic hit.
On Monte Cruz. That's such a coincidence that that was the same night the two of them met. Wait, she was at the hospital that night?
Pull his film. I'll be there in a minute.
Wait, hold on, there's a little too many coincidences here. Is this just flashback the episode? Because I'm all in on that. Well, what are you doing? Why are you injecting yourself with morphine? Ah, I can't look at it. Morphine. Wait. Oh, wait, is this C-Note? It is C-Note!
You worked for his company.
So what?
From which you were fired a few weeks ago.
I loaded containers in the warehouse, never met the guy. What the hell, Mike? You sound like one of the damn detectives.
Nah.
I'm just saying.
You think I did?
Interesting. So they, I mean, of course, they didn't find just some random guy. They found just the right person.
And you can't keep blaming Mom for dying and Dad for leaving because I was there too. The difference is I got out. Mom had life insurance. I took my half, put myself through school.
You want to know what the 90 grand was for?
I think I do.
You.
What do you mean?
The money you got when you were 18 years old from your mother's life insurance. The money that paid for your degree, that got you this job, that bought you your loft. Your mother never had life insurance. That money came from Lincoln.
Huh.
How?
He borrowed it. Knew it'd be tough to pay back, but that didn't matter because he thought you deserved it.
Wow,
He also knew you'd never accept
got the
anything that
90.
came from him.
The night you called. If we talked, maybe I could have stopped you.
Hey. It's not your fault.
And
Well,
whose is it?
Listen up. You need to forget about this. Move on. Work hard. Do what you do.
oh man, now they've both swapped.
Pulling the trigger.
Look at this guy painting it. That's hilarious,
You
actually.
didn't kill Terry.
How are you gonna afford a place like that?
Oh, this is so I didn't even realize we get to see how they all
Open the door, coño.
why they're all arrested, what they're all in for. Maybe not all, but
Actually, this is all I need.
okay. It just needed a little bit. I hope we get to see John and Teabag. I kind of want to see everyone now.
Pierce, are you okay?
She's a doctor. Oh, she's not used to it.
Telephone, call 911. Are you a doctor?
Oh no. She's not in the right state of mind to do this. She's in no condition to be doing anything. Okay, but that... So that changes things, doesn't it?
Prisoner abuse report you filed?
Yes, sir.
I need to know how far you're willing to go with this.
Whatever it takes, sir. I particularly have no love for the Desert Donkeys, but I do have some for the Geneva Convention.
Something like this
Ooh.
gets out.
What I saw was wrong. And someone needs to take responsibility for it, sir.
He was a good man.
What the hell is going on, sir?
Sergeant Franklin, I'm hereby recommending that you be dishonorably discharged from the United States Army.
What?
Oh, is he getting blamed?
Engaging in illegal black market
Funny,
activity.
you asked me to get that stuff,
I
man.
kept it to myself.
Oh,
You
they're
should learn to do the same.
taking him in, keep him quiet.
The unit's been on leave for a long damn time now.
Oh.
Pretty soon they gonna stop thinking you're lucky and she gonna start asking questions.
Yeah, well then I need to start finding some answers.
Okay.
I happen to know of an employment opportunity.
Oh, come on, man. You know I don't get down like that.
It's just driving a truck.
Yeah.
A to B. That's it.
Just driving a truck,
Sam
huh?
taught y'all to drive trucks, didn't he?
Interesting.
Yeah, he also taught me to look inside.
Transferring me to a prison where I wait until they execute me.
Can I still visit?
Yeah. Not that far. A place called Fox River.
Fox River.
Yeah. Why?
He immediately remembers. He worked on it. Oh, that's hilarious.
You too. Go wash your hands.
Where is this? What is happening?
Evening, Mrs. Hollander. Don't you look lovely this evening?
There he is! There he is. The Mad Lad himself has finally joined the plot. I really did not expect to get Teabag in this episode. Oh, I'm so hopeful we'll get John too.
Seriously, Primo. How you gonna afford a ring for a girl like that, huh?
He's gonna have to steal again. Same place, really?
Open the door.
Hey, okay.
We're going you now.
Hey, this right?
Actually, I'm gonna need a little bit more this time.
Okay.
I love that this is the dumbest robbery. Oh, no. No. No! I know it happens, but I don't want it to happen. Oh, you bastard. What was his name? Stupid. That's his name now.
Hey, Sarah.
Ah.
You used to be a doctor, right?
I still am. In theory. Why?
Oh, I was just thinking.
I did not expect him to be here.
Job opening where I work. Maybe.
Is this back when he used to be a normal person?
Maybe we could talk about it over dinner. I got a gift card to the Red Lobster over off the interstate.
Oh God, not Red Lobster.
God. Tonight's kind of my night to work on my resume.
Oh. Yeah.
I love him being an awkward normal person. This is how it begins. There's the wall. He has to get the whole thing. Ah, dang it.
You know, math was never my best subject either.
See, okay, here's the problem. I know I was super excited because T-Bag is now in this episode. I don't want to see any more of this because it's not going to end well, we know. I don't want to see the rest of this. Please don't be Lincoln. Please don't be Lincoln. Please just be a random episode. Oh, what? Oh, that's hilarious. That is so coincidental. No, you can't. This episode's hilarious, man. He's gotta memorize it. Or no. No, he's trying to memorize it. It doesn't work. This is probably when he gets the idea for the tattoos. That's how he gets the idea.
How long do you think she's gonna wait for me while I'm inside?
Oh.
Hold on, man. You owe me this, man.
So...
Don't you ever let her know where I am. You feel me?
Interesting. So... Now it's interesting, so he wasn't arrested immediately, but he is still going to Fox River. Ugh. Well, he's the first one to make it to Fox River then.
My God, I let you near my children.
I never touched them.
You should have told me.
I have sinned in the past. But when I met you, that person, that one who did all those terrible things, he died.
Interesting.
And I was reborn.
That doesn't just erase the man who killed 6 students in Alabama.
I guess that's where you're right. Because when you sent me here to this place with these people, it brought that old dirty bastard right back home. Don't think I won't remember what your front steps look like, Susan.
Oh, shit. Boy, he really just switched back and forth there, didn't he? So, new danger in him leaving. He has dentures. Oh my God, he has dentures. The dental record is disproved.
You have no idea what I've been through.
Good night, Terrence.
Who plays him? Huh. He looks kind of familiar. Maybe we'll look him up after the episode. He's going to the bank. Ah! Okay. It's Dr. Phlox. That's what I know him from. It's Dr. Phlox from Enterprise. From Star Trek Enterprise. And this is right after Enterprise ended. So now he's Terrence Steadman. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, because I looked at him, I was like, this guy, he kind of looks familiar. Oh my gosh, that is awesome, man. Alright, let me see if I can find, though, real quick. I want to try to find, to make sure I know who the name of Sucre's friend. I think it was Hector. I can't tell. I'm just gonna say it's Hector and just go with that. Okay. Okay. Episode 16. An episode I was not expecting in the slightest. An entire backstory episode on pretty much all of our characters. I mean, that's basically everyone in the escape crew, basically, except for Westmoreland, but he's already been in prison, you know? So, that's the thing. But that's a lot. That is definitely a lot. A lot of exposition for that episode. But good, I'm glad. Now, we don't fully know everything. We don't fully know everything, but we know a lot. We know, we saw some good stuff there. So, okay. What a great episode. That was really, and again, just so unexpected, you know? Like, I didn't think in the middle of the season we would stop and get backstory on pretty much most of our characters, you know? So, let's go ahead and hop into the notes. I'm going to go ahead and, well, the way we're going to do notes this time around is I'm going to do specific characters instead of just going, you know, right down the list. I'm going to jump around to keep basically plot points together for specific characters. So, starting off, obviously, let's start off with Lincoln and Michael and how they progress through this episode. That was very interesting. So, we saw the relationship they had before this whole thing went down, which was interesting to see, you know? I mean, you'd almost think that they were sort of these, you know, thick as thieves sort of brothers beforehand, but no. They had a bit of a tenuous relationship, you know, Lincoln always sort of being hard on times, basically, on hard times specifically, and Michael having to, you know, sort of bail him out of things, and getting tired of what happened with Lincoln. So that was interesting, and that, you know, it basically, you know, this beginning definitely shows that they picked the right person for the setup, you know, because here's a guy who, even by, even, you know, the two closest people in his life, Michael and Veronica, they think it's him, you know, they think it is him. So that's pretty interesting that, you know, at the beginning, like, between that and then the whole thing of, you know, he actually used to work for Terrence Steadman's company and was just laid off weeks earlier. So that's pretty interesting. Like, it's definitely just a great cover, you know? And it's also interesting because, so we learned that the $90,000 that he owed was because of, well, was for Michael. You know, Michael was thinking, oh, well, I took my half of the, you know, mom's life insurance and then I did something. What did you do with your half? But that's the thing. There never was a life insurance. Lincoln got $90,000 for Michael, and then he didn't have the another $90,000. So he's been trying all this time to work off that $90K, but that it just never happened until finally, with that kind of debt, they chose him to be the guy. So that was pretty interesting. I did like, actually, at the beginning when the one guy is talking about it. It's interesting how he says, he basically says, do this before I start looking for someone to force you to do this. Like, basically, before I start threatening people you care about, please just take this. It was weirdly considerate, It was, like, weirdly considerate, despite the fact that, yes, this is asking someone to murder. But still, like, I don't know. It was just kind of interesting, So, yeah, that was just an interesting sort of way of going about that. But yeah, and then we see him trying to call Michael, and like I said, like I predicted in the reaction, Michael did start to feel guilty about that a bit, but it's not really his fault. None of this is either of their faults because Lincoln was set up, So that was really interesting. And it was also interesting to see the switch between, because at first, Michael is just like, is not being really supportive, and Lincoln is sitting there like, no, I didn't do this. This isn't right. I was set up. And then the next time we see them, they have switched to where Michael is saying, no, you didn't do this. Something is wrong. Something's got to be done about this. And Lincoln saying, look, move on. Go live your life. Forget about me. Just go. So it's very interesting to see that switch happen between them. Let's see. And then, we pretty much see Michael's process into coming up with the escape, because pretty much as soon as he hears Fox River, because he recognizes Fox River, he was there. He pretty much helped, what did they say? Renovate it, basically, which, I mean, they said something like it was a full renovation, which is how Michael pretty much knows the place inside and out. For the most part, he was able to, work on it basically with his company. So that was interesting. And then just seeing the process, he's trying to memorize it, because that's something, we learned last episode. It's like, well, I can't memorize it. It's like trying to memorize the phone book. You can't memorize all of this stuff, but he is able to convert it to the tattoos so that he can use it. And just seeing that sort of process of, everything that he needs, getting through Fox River and stuff, and then going through and, he gets the idea for the tattoos, and then, you see the different things he has, like, okay, he's starting to look up John Abruzzi, and, I was like, okay, because he needs his money, or no, he needs his plane, and then I think there was a little bit of Westmoreland, maybe not, but that might have been one of the things obviously it had to have been one of the things, because that is the other thing, is D.B. Cooper's money, So yeah, so that was all just very, very interesting. So good stuff there. Moving on, we can go ahead and hop over to Sucre. I will say it was slightly interesting that Sucre was there. Lincoln ran past Sucre. And that was the night that Lincoln supposedly killed Terrence Steadman, is also the night that Sucre met Mari Cruz. That was a little much. That was the point, but that was the only instance of like, hey, these things, they're kind of happening at the same time. Like, those were the only real things that were slightly connected between our different protagonists from the prison. Like, everything else with Sucre and C-Note and T-Bag were all, separated from Michael and Lincoln, which is good. So, but yeah, then just tiny little thing of like, oh well, he ran past Sucre, and that's when he met Mari Cruz. So that was a little much, but still. So he meets Mari Cruz, falls in love. Hector also falls in love. Again, I'm going off of presuming that his name is Hector. I think it was Hector. So they both fall in love with Mari Cruz, but Sucre is the one who actually gets her. And so then after that, he tries to do good for her, and he gets just enough money to go out for dinner. Then he has to go back. I love that he went back to the exact same place and robbed them again, and it was like, I need a little bit more this time. It's like, oh, okay, sorry, here you go. So that was funny, honestly. Like, I'm glad they kind of made that humorous, you know. I mean, maybe just because Sucre is sort of a humorous guy. You know, he's a funny sort of livelier guy than some of the. Of course, I mean, in the prison, everyone's lively, but some people are just darker than others. Like, Sucre has always been a good man, you know? Sucre has always been a good man, so there's at least that. But yeah, that whole thing was really funny. But then, going back and getting the money so that he could get the ring, and it was Hector that called the police on him, which is crazy. Now, he doesn't know that, I'm pretty sure. But, yeah, it was Hector that called the police on him to get him arrested. That is so terrible, you know? Man, see, you know the only thing? I feel like we're going to get out of the prison by the end of season 1, and then, you know, Michael and Lincoln are going to be off, and we're just going to sort of leave behind the rest of the crew, and we're not going to see, like, their plot lines resolve. Now, I don't know if that's going to be the case. Maybe it's not going to be the case, you know, and I don't know how long the crew can really stick together once they're out of prison, you know? But that would be really... I mean, that would just be terrible. It's like we go through all of this with Sucre, and then, you know, we go our separate ways, and he's just gone, you know? We don't see what happens with him and Maricruz and Hector, you know? So, yeah. Then we got... interesting, I didn't expect a plotline with Sarah. That was very interesting. So she used to just be a junkie doctor, and then when basically a kid died in front of her and she couldn't do anything, that's when she finally sobered up and stopped using. That's very interesting, very compelling, honestly. So, and not something I would have expected, you know, like, I guess because, you know, maybe, I mean, I guess you could honestly, like, you know, if you think about Sarah and why she's at Fox River, you could, and with everything that you know about her relationship with her father and how, you know, oh, he doesn't like what I believe in, he doesn't like what I do, he doesn't like where I work, he doesn't like anything about this, you almost wonder, like, well, is she there to spite him? Like, I guess we never fully knew the reason why she was at Fox River instead of just being a normal doctor. But seeing this was very interesting. Like, it wasn't something I expected, that she was trying to, basically, like she said, you know, she wants to help people get to where she is, you know? Like, she was able to overcome everything, you know, overcome that and get to a good place. So she wants to help other people get there. And she then realized that taking a job at Fox River would be a good idea. Now, probably one of the most hilarious things in this is that it was Bellick trying to go on a date with her. It was... I love that. And I love awkward Bellick. That was just hilarious. That Bellick was there in that group and recommended the job at Fox River. And he tried to pick... You know, he tried to hit on her, but that just didn't work. The girl did not care about Red Lobster, so dang it, she could have gotten the ultimate feast. Anyway, but that was really, really funny. I like half of this episode is honestly kind of funny. You know, half of their backstories are honestly really funny, and the other half is, you know, really serious stuff. Like, you know, pretty much most of Sarah's plot is sad, and then you get to the Bellick stuff and it's hilarious, you know? So it's just a whole thing, but I love it. Let's see. Moving on over to C-Note. So that was interesting. So C-Note, he was in the army, and he basically was able to get drinks, basically, for his commanding officer. And I guess he did it, you know, maybe not the most legal way, but, you know. But then, so he saw something basically he shouldn't, and he was a good man. It's interesting to see, you know, I didn't quite expect that, you know, it's not that C-Note has been a bad guy per se, like he hasn't been like, you know, Teabag or Abruzzi in the prison, but but it's interesting to see, no, he was just a legitimately good man. You know, he saw something that was wrong, and he was going to file a report, you know? And I like how he says, you know, is like, look, I have no love for our enemy, but I do have love for the Geneva Convention. Like, yeah, you can't, it's not something good that you can do. So that was interesting, and then pretty much immediately, they just sack him, basically. They dishonorably discharge him, and they use him, you know, getting whiskey and everything for it. So, yeah, he was dishonorably discharged, and because of that, he had such a hard time finding work. So, now, okay, someone explain this to me. So, he does this job, you know, it's just, you know, it's just a little driving, you know, a little going from A to B. So he does that. He gets picked up by the cops, but then he's still allowed to go home before being transferred to Fox River. Is that it? That seemed a little odd. Maybe someone can explain exactly like what the process of that was. But yeah, like that was interesting. He was just able to go home and then, you know, talk to them, and then I guess he was transferred to Fox River. I'm not sure. Maybe someone can clear that up. But yeah, but it's also interesting. He says, you know, it's like, oh well, that, you know, that woman that I love so much, you know, she married a military man who, you know, has things together, and what is it going to look like if I just, you know, come out as one of those thugs, you know? And it's a good point, honestly. It is honestly a good point. So it is a bit tricky. So that's why he ended up lying. And so yeah, so that's how that happened. I guess the only other plotline left is T-Bag, who, when he showed up, I was, you know, you saw I was clapping because I did not expect that, you know. I didn't expect to see how T-Bag ended up in Fox River. But honestly, because, I mean, here's the thing. T-Bag is a horrible person, but he's a ton of fun to watch. You know, like, he's one of those guys you love to hate him. So, that's the thing. So, he shows up, and I'm like, oh, yes, show me this. But then immediately after that, I was like, wait a second, this guy is a pedophile and a murderer. It's like, uh-oh, those kids are fucked in more ways than one. So yeah, so I immediately started getting worried. But it's interesting that, so first off, I love, again, another coincidence. America's Most Wanted comes on TV, and it's talking about Theodore Bagwell. That is friggin' hilarious. I love that so much. That is one of the dumbest things ever, but I love that. I love it. But now it's interesting. See, I was, you know, as soon as you see the family, you're like, oh crap, he's going to do something. But it's interesting. He says, you know, I never touched those kids. You know, he never touched the little boy and girl. And he apparently genuinely loves Susan. Now, and I was sort of sitting here like, is he real? Is he just saying this? Or, I don't know. But he honestly did sort of seem to be genuine about it. You know, he kind of did seem like, no, he had changed. He had finally fallen in love. And, you know, and he seemed to have changed. However, like he said, as soon as he got in that prison, the old bastard came back, you know? So maybe it wasn't a complete change. Maybe he thought he changed, but yeah, that was very, very interesting to see. So yeah, that whole plot line was very interesting of how he ended up in Fox River. Like, and it was just like if you know, if that had never gone, if America's Most Wanted wasn't on talking about Theodore Bagwell, then that he wouldn't have been arrested, you know. But then it's also interesting, you know, when he says, you know, oh, and when I get out of here, I don't think I won't forget what your front steps look like, Susan. I love his voice. And that was like maybe the only time I've ever really kind of been intimidated by T-Bag, because he's always just kind of goofy and, you know, just sort of like comically evil, but or comically, you know, bad or something. But that part was like, ooh, okay, this it might go down actually. So that was also very interesting. So if I were Susan, I would just pick up and leave. It was like, all right, we're moving. We're moving across the country somewhere else, you know? So, but this does also present a new challenge with T-Bag being part of the escape crew. So yeah. But overall, really good episode. Again, did not expect to get a an exposition episode here in the middle of this, but I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I guess. Oh well, actually, and the last thing to mention. So we do finally see Terrence Steadman, played by Dr. Phlox from Enterprise, and I love, because he starts reaching into his mug, and I'm like, what the hell is he doing? Is he like adjusting his tea or something? Or is like, I don't know. And he pulls out dentures. That means the teeth on that body from the last episode are completely fake. They probably just put his dentures on there. It's like, you can't, if they find something, then that's just that. Like, it would be on record that he had dentures, so that doesn't work. Oh, man. So that was a really good reveal right there. But yes, we have finally seen Terrence Steadman, which means, by the way, the guy in the car, he was just a dude. He was like bald and everything. So, like, he didn't look at all like Terrence Steadman, which was interesting. So yeah. But yeah, good episode, and I'm looking forward to see where we are going next time. So with all that said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to click around to any of those. There's a playlist for all my Prison Break reactions, as well as another video you can click on if you want to go watch more of my stuff. There's a subscribe button, there's a Patreon button, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys